Wow, moment of silence for this zit that's just so big. Today I just wanted to like sit and talk, and I also work in like half an hour. I don't even know. Yeah, I work in like half an hour. So I was like, you know what? Let's kill two birds with one stone and just do my makeup. I'm doing this one because I want to post way more in July. At one point I was toying with daily uploads, and I still like the idea, but then I remember that like I'm back to having a full-time job, and it's been insane. Like, I work in the hospitality industry, so I didn't really expect it to be that busy, like just opening up, because the world is still falling apart. Really not that bad. I saw a graphic posted like today, and it was like total cases in Florida today 5,000, total cases in all of Canada today 200 or something like that. Like, we're really not that bad here, so that is why my work did reopen. We've just been stupid busy. I don't know why people are coming, but they are. I've been busy with work, and then also we are like super short staffed because a bunch of people we had hired like right before we closed, and they either haven't started again or aren't coming back. It's a whole thing, so it's been crazy. I'm a mess. My hair is a mess. My life is a mess. Everything's a mess. I do a bunch of stuff. So I do like all of the duties that are like the regular person who does my job, and then I also am like, it's technically a promotion, but it's not like a seniority thing. Like, I'm not anyone's boss, because I straight up was like, I don't want to be anyone's boss, just let me exist in my own bubble. It's been hard because we've been so busy that I've just been doing the like basic jobs, I guess, and haven't had time to like actually do my job, which is killing me. All the other jobs, if something bad happens, you can like, you know, blame it on a team. Something happens with my job, it's just me who did my job bad. So that's been a little bit stressful, but because of me trying to get things done, I've been working crazy hours. Originally I was like, you know what, like we can upload daily in July, it really won't be that bad. Like, I have 2 days off a week, like tons of free time, all that fun stuff. And then my 40-hour work weeks and 8-hour work days turn into like 10-hour work days, which I'm honestly fine with, because I want to move out in hopefully August. It's kind of like where we're shooting now. I've been looking at places, and like I just make hourly. I'm not like salaried or anything like that. So for me it's nice, because for every like extra couple hours I work, that's a lot of money because I make overtime. I've just been working a bunch of hours, but it's kind of sad because I was hoping to like do all this stuff and be able to like do daily uploads in July and all that fun stuff, and now I'm just like trying to survive my job. But I do want to be uploading more. I still would like to attempt to do like Monday to Friday, just so you'd have some mid-week content. The day that you're seeing this will be July 1st, and I wanted actually to put some more resources and like talk more about racism in Canada and things like that, but I just like literally have been working every single day and haven't had 2 minutes to sit down and actually do some research, which I'm aware is like very lucky of me that I can live that life. But by the time that this is out, because I'm filming this on the 29th, 28th, hopefully by the time this is out, there'll be like links in the description and some research that I've looked at that you guys can look at, because I didn't want to just come on here and be like, oh my god, happy Canada Day, and not acknowledge that we kind of suck too. In saying that, the day that you're seeing this is July 1st, and I'm going to be trying to upload more, at least 4 weekdays this month. So if there's any videos that y'all would want to see that, you know, I can do from my room, considering the world is still shut down, let me know. I'm happy to oblige. I am down for honestly whatever. I have a big list of things that I want to do, like stuff that I've been like talking about doing for forever. Like every single day of my goddamn life someone asks for a guest horror story, and I have them all written down. I just haven't filmed it, and honestly like guests weren't that bad in attending. Like, I feel like the horror stories that you get in attractions are like way more interesting and dramatic. Like, as an attendant, the nice thing about it is like, if someone's being a jerk and you're not super greeting and you're actually with a character, like what are you gonna do? You can just leave. Like, the character's just gonna leave. You're like, your characters are all there and they don't want you to be treated like crap either, for the most part. So if your characters see someone being mean to you, like, they're just gonna walk away. That person's gonna have a bad interaction. That video's coming. I have a list of them written down in my notebook. I just haven't sat down and filmed it because personally, that's not that interesting to me. God, I feel like I'm still half asleep right now. My brain is moving so slow. I also look ghostly on my camera. Like, my camera settings are fine. I think I'm just a natural light, which is like really blowing out my face. Another thing I wanted to talk about today is how I changed my Instagram name. So the channel that you're watching this on now has already just been my name for honestly as long as I can remember. I had a really embarrassing name, which you can still see. I figured this out the other day. If you go to people's like YouTube profiles and they had a really embarrassing like old YouTube name, which most people did, like almost any beauty guru who's like a pre-2015 beauty guru probably had an embarrassing beauty guru name. But you can still find those if you go to people's like channels. Like YouTube still has it in their URL. Rip. But I've had my name as Low French for like forever at this point. This is not anything new, but before I was previously on like every other social media, Twitter, and Insta, Low Does Disney. I was like, you know what, it's time for a change. And like, don't get me wrong, I love Disney, but I just accepted that it's not happening anytime soon, and I think that's fine. I'm in like a bunch of groups and people are always like, when do you think it'll be safe for us to go back? And like, honestly, who knows? It doesn't help that I am Canadian, so I live on the west coast of Canada and I'm way closer to Disneyland, and Disneyland is now like not opening like indefinitely, like they've delayed the opening again. So Disneyland is not in the cards. And Florida is one, very far away, and two, literally falling apart right now. As much as I would love to go back to Disney World, I say this in my like park opening, official park opening video, so go watch that for like more of these thoughts. But obviously I love characters and I love shows and I love parades, and for me, who's not an annual pass holder, even if I got like Friends comp tickets, let's be honest, like it's not worth me paying $600+ in flights to go to a Disney park when there's no characters, no fireworks, no parades. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. I know I'm not going anytime soon in that sense, especially when I think about like Disneyland. Like, not half the reason, but a huge chunk of the reason that I wanted to go was to see the new parade, and like the new parade isn't happening. Why would I want to go? Wow, this eyebrows, she's strong today. So I'm not doing that anytime soon. I've talked about this in a couple of videos, but I was gonna go work on cruise line, which my tattoo making it not possible is kind of a blessing in disguise at this point, because they're not sailing until like September, I think. And as much as I wanted to do a fall contract, it looks like all of my classes for school are online. So classes that I normally would have to take online, classes that I normally would have to take in person, I can take online, which is the only reason I haven't graduated yet. So it looks like I may be able to like actually graduate in 2021 maybe. So I obviously couldn't do that if I was on a cruise ship, because you have no Wi-Fi on a cruise ship. So like I said, kind of a blessing in disguise. I'm thinking that I'm not doing that now, but obviously I'm not going back to the parks. I'm not working for the parks. I'm looking at signing a 1-year lease in August. So the absolute earliest that I will be back would be summer, fall 2021, and that would be to apply for a year-long program, because I don't know if I've talked about this. I've kind of just like not given up, because given up is not the right word. I still love the summer program, and like I would recommend the summer program to anyone, but it definitely is like a like younger program. Like I see it as like an intro Disney program, and I loved it, but I feel like I've kind of like hit my limit. The only other role that I would want to do that's offered through that program is performer, but I am just like statistically not a height that they're ever really hiring for performer, and I've accepted that. The only people who are my height that have ever been performers, it was accidents and Disney messed up. So that is kind of how I feel there. I have no eyeshadow over here. So I didn't have like super high expectations. Honestly, if I wanted to go back and do another summer program, I would just do attending again, because I am in love with attending, and I do think like of all the roles at Disney, it is what I like excel in and was what I could do best. So as much as I would love to go back and be attendant, I don't know, for me, someone who lives on the West Coast and Disney World is very far away, if it's worth it for me to pay the $600 and then $500 in insurance and then $500 acceptance fee and then, you know, night at a hotel and transportation and all that stuff for 3 months. Like, it gets really expensive, where a year-long program, like, yeah, I can justify a $600 flight for a year and you get to experience so many more things. Like, I've never gotten to do Christmas in the parks, so I've never been able to afford it. So I would love to do all those things, but obviously everything's a mess right now, and we don't even know when ICPs are able to come back. And Epcot said it's opening with non-international cast members. Like, it's just a whole thing. So I kind of want to wait until the parks have it together, because especially like if you've done a program, you know how much your program like means to you and how special everything that happens on your program is, and how you like connect memories to things that happen on your program for forever. And I don't want to do a program where everything is closed, because I want to have those memories of, like, you know, meeting Mickey on your first day after you've earned your ears, and, you know, going and like scream singing at parades. Like, I can't imagine going to Disney World without Move It, Shake It. Oh my god, what would I do without Move It, Shake It? Disneyland opens earlier. Like, I could probably justify a Disneyland trip, I will say that, but I also don't want to have to like ever quarantine, which is currently what's happening. Like, what am I gonna do? Fly to California, quarantine in California for 14 days? Like, no, that doesn't make any sense. And then when I fly back home, like, I want to go back to work right away. That's the only way that I can afford like these long elaborate Disney trips. So I don't want to have to come home and quarantine for 14 days. So that's kind of my thoughts until we are able to not quarantine and parades are up and shows are up and characters are up. I'm not going to be in the parks. This is a long-winded explanation of why I changed my Instagram name. But the moral of the story is that I am no longer Low Does Disney, much to some of my friends' dismay, because they were like, she's an icon, we know her, that's her brand. But like, I don't know, I feel like I just outgrew it for some reason. I also just don't want to put myself in a box. Like, don't get me wrong, I have a shit ton of photos that I could still post from when I worked at Disney and from Disney trips, but I also just don't want to only be posting throwbacks, and I want to be able to post things that are like new and relevant, and I want to be able to, like, you know, try other brands and reach out to brands and like talk to people. And I feel like if I put myself in this like tiny little Disney bubble, it doesn't really get that far, you know? I don't know. So that's why I made a switch. If you look at any of my socials now, they're changing the descriptions. I need to go back and change like a billion of my videos, but now it is lomakesmagic, which I think is like a nice in between. I think it's cute. It's not great. It's not the catchiest thing in the world. Like, I probably could have come up with better, but I still want to go to the parks. I still want to post about Disney things, obviously. So if people leave because they think there's going to be no Disney, that is not true. I think I could literally run away screaming and I would still end up with Disney content, because it is just engraved deeply in my existence at this point. It would be a fun way to explore other things, and as well as, like, I'm not really a Universal person or into any other theme parks, but if I do like want to post a bunch of Universal stuff if I go, or like go back to Knott's later and like want to post a bunch of stuff about that, like, this feels like it just encompasses everything, you know? This cup is gonna fall and I'm gonna throw up. That's my explanation of that. I also like don't want to get into like tea at all, but I've had my account for over 3 years. It was 3 years in the end of May 26th or something. I've had that name for forever, and it has just always been my username. There's people who knew me. I lived in Vancouver when I started this account. There's people who lived in Vancouver who knew me, that knew that this was like, has been my username for forever. There's people who will vouch for like, this has been my username for forever. And I don't want to be like that person that's like, I'm original and I'm the best. But there's other people who had similar usernames to my old username and were like trying to make it a thing, and like sort of, I don't want to be associated with that. Like, I'm sure there's like terrible people who have like so and so makes magic names, but I feel like there was more prominent terrible people who had that name before, and I just don't want people to see my username and like think I'm associated with them. That's kind of the Spark Notes, me not trying to be a shit disturber explanation of that. That's all I want to say. I had that username for almost exactly 3 years when I had changed it. Other people had similar usernames that got it after me, and I think did not do a very good job of representing what I thought was a very cute username. So I no longer want to be associated with it because I don't want people to think that those are my buddies. So that's also that part. I hope it's cool with you guys. A lot of people give me like really good feedback. I posted on my stories about changing it before, and everyone was like, honestly, yeah. I know a few other people, Sammy and Savannah, previously not another Disney couple, they did the same thing a couple months back as well. So I don't think it's that common, but I just don't want to box myself in. I like posting other stuff, and I'm sure like literally almost every picture that I will post will have some sort of like Disney flair to it. I just don't want that to be like literally all that I can do. I'm supposed to be leaving for work in 4 minutes, so I'm gonna wrap this up. That is it for right now. That's a little explanation on why we have a username change, what we're doing. If you have anything you want to see in July, let me know. I think a mosquito might bit my finger and it's driving me insane. I love you guys. All my links, as always, to everything that I have, as well as resources, petitions, things like that, are always down below. You can find that, and I will see you guys maybe tomorrow. We'll see how this goes. Bye.